It's a beautiful day to work on book repair. Here at the Grace Sloan Book Hospital, we have a giant pile of spinal injuries to repair today, and a lot of them are very popular ones, so I'm excited to get them back on the shelves. Let's get started. First up, we have a copy of Sisters, which the kids have been chomping at the bit to get back. So we're taking our spinal injury tag back out of there and flipping open our book. We're going to need tape right in this area, but first we're going to need glue. A lot of the time people will ask me, what is the difference between those spinal injuries and the physical therapy? Spinal injury always needs glue. Physical therapy always needs tape. Not everything always needs both. So we're opening up in here. This does need both, but not everything does. So I'm going to open up my glue. Okay. A lot of people will say, like, put a paper clip or a push pin inside of here. Those rust. So really, I just like to close it up tight and then peel the little glue that's left in there. No big deal. All right. So we are just literally, like you can see it, I'm dripping the glue right down inside of there. And if that looks crazy, yeah, that's okay. It's going to work really well when I do it. So I'm using a mending stick to smooth that around in there. And then closing it back up on that side. Same thing, I'm opening it back up on this other end. That was very close to my face. And just sticking that glue stick back down in there with what glue was left on it. I do think I might need a little bit more, so same thing, I'm just dripping the glue down. Okay, I think that'll be all for now. I will have to tape it, but it is going to have to dry a little bit first. So we will start our pile over there and move on to my next one, which is a Warriors graphic novel. Another one with a spinal injury. This one will definitely need some tape here on the outside, but it must need glue somewhere. Right in, let me see, right in this area in here. So I'm going to need to take this glue and, let's see, it's ripped up on the inside, ripped up right here, this whole area, honestly. I'm basically just going to take it, and since I can get the nozzle in there, I'm going to drip that glue straight in here where I can get to it. Take that same mending stick, spread that around in there, and then just kind of push this over so that it ends up exactly where I want it to sit, like where the book would line naturally. And honestly, look at that from the other side. We're going to put a little bit more in here on that bottom side. Same thing. Okay. Closing it up. Where is my tissue? Tiniest bit of glue on the bottom. Okay. It does need taped. I am going to let it dry first. So, that's our second one. Number 3, surprise, surprise, it's yet another Warriors book, but this one is not a graphic novel. This is one of the chapter books. It's from Permabound. This thing has been in the library for so many years. Let's see. We've also got some page trauma happening here. We've got major separation in that area right here. So we'll start with that. I'm just going to take it. Same thing as the last few times, and drip that glue straight down. But there is quite a bit that needs covered, so we'll just keep going. Same thing on the bottom side. There we go. That can sit on its side to dry, but also I want to take how many of these are falling out? Okay, I'm gonna take this glue. This is gonna seem crazy. It is. You've probably never seen me do this before. I've done it a bunch. I don't recommend it to people because, well, if this goes poorly, you could probably ruin the book. But I've never had it go poorly, so I'm gonna keep doing it until such time that it does. I'm gonna pour this glue very lightly in there. Take the mending stick, rub that through that spine area, and kind of like pick up the pages a little bit so that the edges of the ones that are coming apart will definitely get in that glue. Actually, I'm gonna go just a little more on this bottom side. Okay, now I'm going to take a piece of wax paper and I'm going to lay that wax paper inside there, close that book, and it too is going to go. I need y'all standing. I'll put it at that angle, just sitting there until we can get a little further in the process. All right, next up, investigators, ants in our pants. It's really dirty. I know that it needs a spinal repair, but it's also really dirty. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even really want to keep touching it until I can clean it up a little bit. So I'm just using a Clorox wipe. There are other, probably better alternatives, but this is what I have. It works very quickly, and so that's what I'm gonna use. That's from the front. Okay, so pretty gross, pretty gross. We'll get that out of the way. Use my paper towel to dry you off all the way. This honestly needs like a lot of stuff done to it, but it's not quite bad enough to consider it literary ICU status. Okay, so now we will go in and drip some glue just down the spine. I wish there was a way that I could show you in there. There's not really. It won't focus on it even if I try. Okay, so just push that down in there. Close it up on that side. Same thing here. If I can get the glue nozzle in, I'll always stick the glue nozzle in. If I can't, that's when I'll just stick the mending stick in. Or skewer, or pencil, or whatever you have on hand, really. Okay, I did get a little bit of glue on the bottom there. Okay. And then also, I'm going to tape this on the outside of the spine. I guess the outside is the spine, that's silly. I'm going to tape the spine here because I've got a label that's peeling up and I've also got some damage that's starting to happen here, so I'm just going to use my tape dispenser. Hate the noise that it makes. Love what it does. Okay, my bone folder is here. Snack, Crackle Pop, Rice Krispies. Okay, you're done. And there we go. All right, moving right along, we've got the tryout, which has been very popular since we first got it. Spinal Injury. This is all crayon on the inside, just so you can get a closer look and see it's not mold, it is crayon. Okay, nothing's torn there, nothing's torn there. Light work, huh? Oh, yeah. Okay, so you can see that teeny tiny little gap there at the bottom. Maybe it's a little bitty problem, and before it becomes big, I'm just gonna take my mending stick that I've been using this entire time. There's even glue still on it. I am sticking that in the bottom, kind of sliding it around in there, twisting, and then just kind of like pulling it back out. Now I'm taking a peek. I think I am going to go in and add just the tiniest bit more glue, but my nozzle's not going to fit in that spot. So taking it, dipping it. That is a lot of glue. Do I need that much? It will work without it, but I like this glue. There we go. Okay, that is shut. I like the other side. No, it's not peeling on the other side. It's just that side. That's such an easy problem. That's it. Okay, cool. All right. Who's my next patient? Diary of an Awesome Friendly Kid. You have these pages are gross looking. You're detached from there. You're supposed to have a floating spine? You're a follet bound. Do you know what I'm going to do with this instead of trying to repair it? Because I'm not going to lie, there's not a good way for me to repair I mean, there is, but it'll take a long time. It'll be worth it. It won't be worth it to do that. I'll put this in my weeded books for the kids. I will add, because it's follet bound, we're going to be able to order a replacement through Follet. Because, yeah, this is gross looking. Like, I don't know that any of that is mold. But I can honestly say there's a lot of really gross looking stuff here. So we are going to go over there to end up being weeded. Spinal Injury. Next up, The Babysitter's Club. We love The Babysitter's Club. It's one of the most popular books in the library. And, okay, surprisingly enough, that's a floating spine. It's meant to do that little gap. What it's not meant to do is this extra stuff on the side here. And on the inside, we're starting to peel apart. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's starting to peel apart from the inside of the book. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this glue. It's actually super easy. I'm going to take this glue. If it had come completely off of here, I would be doing something different, but since it's just starting, taking my glue, pushing it in through that whole area, and then I'm going to use a sheet of wax paper so it doesn't seal on itself. Closing it up. And there we go. It's actually a lot quicker to get through all of this than I usually feel like it'll be. I just don't ever have the time to sit uninterrupted. So, another spinal injury, the investigator's class action. You have been through my repair system before. What we have here is a need for a little bit of glue. So, grab my glue, pour down, slide that into place. Okay, so we'll just, there we go. Okay, so I accidentally just pulled some of that glue out of there. That was an accident. That's what I have these paper towels on hand for, right next to us. Let's see. What is stuck on my bracelet? Something. Okay. So, but is that enough glue in there? Absolutely it is. And that's really all it needs. So, off we go. Right on over. Okay, 2 more. Be prepared. This one is really popular, and I've never read it, but it's about a Russian girl that goes camping, and the kids check it out a lot. So, we look fine in here. We look fine in there. What we really just need, as always, a little bit of glue dripped down the edge, just to reseal these end papers, because that's almost always what it is the end papers coming off. Okay. So. Okay. Just one side. What about the other? Oh, it's not pulling as bad there yet. But it will soon, and I threw my paper towel away, so I need to leave that open for a second, because there was glue all over it. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes I get a little bit of glue where it shouldn't. Let me just wipe it off. Okay. All right, my last one in this pile is Babysitter's Little Sister. Not as popular as Babysitter's Club, but still popular. Definitely gonna need some tape. Definitely gonna need some glue. Okay, so we're gonna need lots of glue in here. Lots and lots. Also, is this a glued book? Yes, it is. The part that it's separating from is not where it's supposed to. Okay. Here we go. Well then, lots and lots of glue is the solution. As always. I'm literally just moving that around to just strip it all the way. Also, this label is funky looking. Ew. I'm taking that off and replacing it. Okay. So, that did that side. What about the other end? Right here on the inside, where it's not supposed to be separating at all. Am I ripping it slightly further? Kind of. But it's because I really want that glue to go in there. And I kind of have to get it to do it. So, once again, sheet of wax paper so that nothing seals on itself there. And then we're also gonna just, I can't look at this gross looking label. Oh, that's bad. Can you see the nastiness that is that label? That's pretty gross. Okay, what we're gonna do is just cut and cut and peel a small piece of tape. To put that on and basically just like laminate it, because ew. But also don't want to waste them, can't print new ones, the internet's not on right now. So there's that. Cut to seal. Alright, there we have that. Taking another piece of my Band-Aid tape. I'm gonna use it, where'd you go? To tape this in place. Right there. And I'm not going to cover it with every inch of this because I'm going to just tape the whole spine. I just have to. Okay. So now let me pull this down a little. Okay. Putting that in. To the shelf. Alrighty. Okay. As much as I desperately want to move on to the next step of all of those, I do need to wait for the glue to dry. And not just a little bit dry, but all the way dry. So I will have an update video where we go back in and we do rounds on our patients because we need to make sure that their treatment was successful and that they don't need to be forwarded to a different specialist or a different department. I don't know. We will find out tomorrow. I will get all of those processed and checked back in to the library from the book hospital because the internet's out and I couldn't discharge them now anyway. So we will just wait and I will see you next time.